Welcome back to you, Pumpkin. One of the worst crypto things you could ever hear is the very famous words, follow the plan. It's that easy, guys. Follow the plan. What are you waiting for? Really? Have you seen most people's plans, friends? I want to ask you this. Have you seen most people's plans? They're trash. Most people don't know what they're doing. Most people's plans are not profitable. They have no idea. The timing, the mindset. I think it's just something we tell each other, as in like, hey, look after yourself. But what does that really mean? Now you have a friend like me that you like, subscribe, press the belly button and all to wearing a cute little bull hat to tell you something. Most plans are trash. They don't make money. Most people's plans are buy the bottom, sell the top. Or buy when things get hot, sell to other emotional retailers even higher. Very unfortunate. You have no one who's consistently surviving doing that. Another plan that I'm going to give you, for example, like buy low, sell high, unfortunately, the win rates aren't 100%. So there are people who are buying the low of Tezos, XTZ, and they missed out on the whole freaking bull market because there was just no adoption there. So what do we do? Well, if you make a plan, you have to decide for yourself that, I'm going to take a shot. And I'm going to buy low, sell high. I'm going to wait for euphoria. And I might not even rely on waiting for euphoria. I might use an indicator. So now that we introduce objective tools, now we're moving somewhere. If you've been following my channel, friends, I love using the weekly super trend. Okay, now the weekly super trend, it's very simple. It's very juicy. You don't have to make it complicated. It's a free indicator, the weekly super trend. And all it does is it pings 3 times the ATR. All right. That's it. 3 times the average distance. It goes, okay, if the average distance is a certain amount, multiply by 3, now you have a band. If the market goes up, it says, whoa, this is significant. You should be like really paying attention to this. And if it goes down, it goes, whoa, you're like really significant on the downside. Now, you can put this on a very small time frame, but it doesn't really help you because there's so much range and volatility and things smacking up and smacking down. And if you're looking at a chart, if you put it even on like a 15-minute chart, you just see, look at this, green, red, green, red, green, red, green, red, green. Okay, basically you lose to slippage and everything else. But if you put it on a weekly chart seems to be where all the juice is. So at the end of the day, that's it. All I can really tell you is pray and plan. That's all we can do. Maybe we have a super trend. Now, obviously, you're probably wondering as well, I wonder if I can kill it and make infinite money with this super trend. Here's the problem. The problem is, friends, there's only 2 types of really trading or investing. Either you are trying to go with a trend. That's one type of trading. Trying to go with the trend. Trend is your friend. Or you're trying to fade extremes. So you're trying to find when it's super, super expensive or super, super cheap. Both of them work and both of them make money. In crypto, though, we tend to find that trends go on super parabolic. So it's not so easy to just say, well, I'm going to be able to buy the top and sell the bottom. You won't be able to do that. So if you're able to use one of them, you're going to be okay. The problem, though, for example, if you use for a like RSI indicator, very basic indicator, even if you put it on a monthly chart, the volatility in the past will confuse you. For example, on a monthly chart, Bitcoin used to hit like a 98 level on the RSI. But if you waited for the 98 again, maybe it only stops at like 90 next time. And that could be the difference between you selling at 80,000 and other people waiting for 150,000. You don't know. So I'm trying to open your mind into the things that's possible. Now, why I like the super trend, for example, that I've been using is because it's adaptive. You see how this is this ATR, right? This line here. All it does is it says, okay, how much have you been moving recently? Let me find that range. Super important because there are people who still haven't changed in their mindset from the past 3 cycles. There are people who still believe Bitcoin is going to have a 200% monthly candle, which is a 3x. There are people who genuinely believe that. And there are people who think, oh, okay, it might even have a 2x on a monthly candle. It got close once, it got like 60 or 70%, but they're diminishing down. So these people, if they're using an objective indicator on a long time frame, they would not even be worried about such a cause happening. But of course, it's not so simple. Why? Here's the thing, okay? And you really got to know this, friends. And what I'll tell you right now, you really got to know. Promise me you'll know it. When the super trend flips red, for example here, Bitcoin is 40%. I've gone and I've shown many altcoins. They are down 60 to 75% by that point. In a nutshell, what it means is, sure, you'll be able to ride the trend, a big part of the trend, the whole trend in most of your coins. You go, okay, I'm going to wait for them to flip green, and then maybe the first pullback on like a little moving average, I get in and I don't get out until it gets red. Problem is you have to be ready for when it turns, because remember, the indicator, super trend, it's keeping you surviving the whole time. So it needs a very big, powerful thrust, a crash in the other direction to ping a flip on the indicator. So, there's a catch to everything. And if you're going to ride these trends, you're never going to be able to sell the tops, ever. You're going to have to guess. Now, I'm hoping that with our super trend, maybe we'll be able to do it. But at the end of the day, it won't be exact. But hey, at least these things move slow enough that you will be able to get an advantage over everybody else. You see, remember, friends, I started this video saying, well, everybody says, follow the plan, follow the plan. Most plans suck. Of course, remember, you got to remember, how can you get crushed? I mean, even this example, the weekly super trend here flipped red, and then it still faked out. And look, it became green again. This was in the previous bull market. This was the China F2 pool scum banning, okay, from the insiders of Chinese miners dumping. And then up here, you had the fake leverage Celsius FTX buying. And then here comes the real bear market again. So I'm not here to sugarcoat anything for you. It's not so easy. But at least on average, you'll get a shot to bink it because you'll be sticking with the trend the whole time. And I can show you this example for, if we look at, for example, like ChainLink's early days. You see ChainLink, let's say you like ChainLink and you just didn't know what to do. You're like, oh man, this thing's going to go to zero, whatever. When would you get in? You go, okay, first I want to see you trade above this line. This will flip the weekly super trend green. Here you go. You go, all right, you show me something. You show me something. And you might say, okay, I'm not getting out until the flips red. But here's the problem, man. Look at this. You get in here, it flips red. Maybe you like hold it a bit. You're up like a 4.3x. The problem is that's a $2 link and ends up going to $50. So I'm not going to pretend like these are really like the be all and end all. And you're never really going to know. But at least now something can be like used on your screen when it comes to any coin you have. You go, oh, you know what? I want you to first flush up, trade around here, and then I'll get in. And this is going to be really useful for all of us. Why? Because there's like thousands of altcoins. There's not 10,000 coins anymore, friends. There's literally 100,000. They're making so many scams and trash. And look, the truth is, all of the mid-tier coins with projects, they just get ignored. You just saw there's a Soy Lana ecosystem run. People buy a dog with a hat. It goes to 200 million market cap. It's reflexive on itself. So, you know what I mean? You're just going to have to deal with this. This is the game. It's a probability game. We're in a casino. Things are spinning around. You're never truly going to get a grasp on it. But hey, at least you're better equipped than the average person who doesn't even know what to do. So we can use that super trend and say, well, you know what? I like this coin, okay? And it's really cheap. Let me put it on a weekly, apply a super trend, and say, all right, I'm not going to get you until, for example, you flip it. Now, for example, friends, I'm just going to show you, this is PulseChain. So at the time of recording, right, it's like 40% below day one sack. I have the weekly super trend here. You see where it is? It's around day one sack by coincidence. And the weekly super trend for PulseX is 34 units. So this is like 65% below day one sack. You see that? So this is the thing. You can go back to Pulse. If you don't, this is the thing. Let's say someone out there, they're like, I don't like the PulseChain community. I don't like Hex. I don't like Richard Hart. I don't like anything. But I think there's a cult there and there's opportunity. What they would be doing is they wouldn't be buying the blood. It's too scary for them. They don't believe in the fundamentals. They're like, oh, Soy Lana. These guys don't drink soy. My friend Somi drinks a lot of protein. So, oh, you know what I mean? They're feeling uncomfortable. And to be honest, they have a bit of a point. What do I mean by that? Well, there's like 50 coins that they can choose from. And in their mind, they're like, well, not all of them are going to get a narrative. Maybe only like 5 at the same time can get a narrative, which means 90% of them are just going to be dead during that time. So what they're going to do is they're going to go, well, I'm going to put a super trend weekly chart on all of them. And whoever pings their upside first, then I'll pay attention. And I'm going to have absolutely no bias when it comes to that. So that's what you would be doing here. You've got a super trend. If Pulse goes above day one sack and it closes the week here, it flips green. And then you can decide what you want to do. Now, it's not a magic formula that, oh, let's just go buy and go crazy. It's not, but it puts it on your radar. And if you're paying attention to Twitter, I mean, we're loud enough, 140 content creators, 68 streamers plus, we're loud enough that you're going to hear it. But you get the point. There are other coins out there that aren't loud enough. So you want to see the market show you, all right, you know, like, can you at least push in the right direction first? Then I'm interested. And I think this is really critical to surviving and looking through the whole environment of poopy coins out there. There's thousands of coins. Now, but here's the thing, friends. I'm going to tell you right now. The coins that go super fast, they're not going to give you a chance to get in. They're going to be dead and then pop up and then just going to keep going. So you're just going to have to deal with that. But at least now you got a framework for when you're watching something, you don't just buy on the tippity top of the green candles. You now, I've shown you this super trend. It's pretty cool. That's it. It's free. It's a basic thing. It's just like, hey, like, show me you can do something and then we can participate. But of course, the biggest gains are not just doing this. They're great. But you know what the biggest gains are? The biggest gains come from you doing the fundamental research and you taking the other side of the bottoms there. There are people selling the bottoms. You're like, you're a soy boy. You're a bleeding anus whale. I don't really care. Keep selling. I'm going to keep buying it. That's where the big multipliers are. But they're more risky. So you better be sure of your work. That's why it helps when I show you, like, PulseChain had 14,000 daily active users. There's people now sending out free money from the Pulse faucet. So when people bridge into the ecosystem, they have free Pulse to transact now. It's automatically happening to the bot. So we know these are priming and gearing up for a 2024 bull market. We know there's 140 content creators, for example. So this is the perfect example I can use for you, you know, because it's on the tip of everyone's tongue. They're like, oh, is it a scam? Is it a Ponzi? Whatever. They're going to change their tunes as soon as the green candles come. But you're here for the biggest multiplier ever. When it comes to these, you shouldn't be worried about, you know, fading the other side. But what I've done is, say, this is different to us. We've done the research. You can't possibly research 100 to 200 other coins at once. But what you can do, it's simple. You just go to TradingView. Okay, you go to TradingView or Deck Screener. They all use this same template platform. You go click on this little FLX super trend. You just press a super trend and it'll add it. But the default is exactly what it is. It's 10 periods and just 3 times the ATR. And that's what it is. And beautiful part is it adapts to the volatility by default. So remember, there are people in Bitcoin, they're like, oh, I'll sell when Bitcoin does a 3x in 1 month. Volatility is diminished. What if you never get that? Well, you'd be not going to get that, right? The volatility just crashing down over time. But people watching that super trend, okay? So if you were watching the super trend, friends, at least you knew at the top of the previous bull market, the super trend comes in, you go, look, this is what you can do, friends. Let's say when it actually came here, January, things are going bad, it pulls back to the moving average. So here's the thing. You don't know what's ever going to happen. You don't know. I'm not going to say, oh, okay, you knew everything bad's going to happen. I'm just telling you, if you're here, here's your condition. You say, well, look at this market. If you are truly in a bull market, you will close a week above this line, 59K. And then you'll flip this green again. If you want to show me you're in a bull market. But if you don't show me, I'm going to assume it's Poopy Town Bear. And guess what, friends? I mean, you even thought, oh, it's going to come, it's going to come. No, it never came. It just crashed down into Goblin Town. This might be very useful for the next crypto cycles to come. Make sure you like, subscribe, belly button, all. You're going to tell mom and dad. Moo. Catch you soon.